This episode of the Flush Podcast is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Plan a hunt in North Dakota this fall, and you'll find out why their bird hunting opportunities are legendary. Today's episode is called An Ode to Izzy. It's a special, maybe sentimental show that most bird hunters can relate to because it's all about our dogs and the hunters that raise them, train them, and of course, love them. Scott Fransen joins the show to talk about his favorite bird dogs, along with his lovely wife, Jean. And that is who I really want to talk to. Welcome to another episode of the Flush Podcast. I'm Travis Frank. I'm your host. Brandon Morton is our producer. He keeps the good times rolling each week. Brandon, how many rooster pheasants have you shot?
Let me think about that. I've shot 0.
0.
I've actually only really held a gun once.
Have you shot it? Have you shot a shotgun?
No, I've never shot a shotgun before, ever.
Huh.
Yeah, sad.
Well, then we need to have a company outing. And I think I know the person that we could maybe set that up with. Mr. Fransen?
Here, present.
Did you hear what your producer just said?
I did hear that. I think we're going to have to rectify that ASAP with the company field trip.
Yep. And we will get planning on that as soon as the show is over. Scott Fransen is the owner of our company, Ronshare Productions. He's also one of the co-hosts of The Flush, which you've probably seen a few times if you're listening to us now. But most importantly, he's a great father and husband. And lucky for us, we get to hear all of the dirt today from his beautiful bride, Jean. Jean, you don't need to share the microphone with Scott. You can just send him out of the room right now if you want. But we just appreciate you taking the time. We got our first husband and wife on the show this week.
This is my pleasure, Travis, and I'm with Brandon with the not carrying a gun in the past. So here we go.
Yeah, but you, if anybody has watched our television show this week, I'll just let you know a little secret. Spoiler alert, Jean, you are one of the stars of the show this week. You went on a hunt in North Dakota with your husband, Scott, and the whole episode revolves around your bird dogs, your dogs, and our love for them, the stars of our show. And you looked back on the life of Izzy. We looked back on the life of Raven, Ron Scher's beloved black lab. And then you guys got to experience a husband and wife hunt in North Dakota. Jean, how did Scott convince you to go? Or did you secretly always want to go with him on one of these hunts?
Actually, Travis, I enjoy being a hunting widow, so there was a little convincing to be had here. But Izzy was really my dog, I like to say. So I went for Izzy, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Where did you guys go, Scott?
We were near Oaks, North Dakota, and it's an area I've hunted many years with my hunting buddies, and then we hunt around that area anywhere from a 20 to 30 mile square radius. So part of me wanting Jean to come on the hunt was to pay tribute to Izzy and to spread her ashes, and I know Jean wanted to be a part of that, but in essence, I told Jean this on the hunt, and this part really didn't make the show, is I was hunting memories. We'd go to various spots that I'd hunted over the years, and I had a story or two or maybe 5 or 6 that I could tell Jean about dogs or people that she knows and things that happened in particular years, which I'm sure she just thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, you've taken your daughters out on a hunt, and that is still one of my favorite shows because it's so relatable. I mean, we go hunting with our friends, and now I have kids too, so they come hunting with me, and just those moments to be able to capture is pretty special. But Jean, you never had this interest or this desire to wonder what it was like to walk in the field?
Well, actually, the kind of hunting I had done in the past was going on like a trail and walking behind, like 10 feet behind Scott so I wouldn't get shot, and just enjoying being outside and watching the dogs work. That's really, really fun and interesting to see. So I loved that, but I'd never been out in the field with those weeds and trying to chase after 6'4" Scott with my 5'5" legs. And so that was a new experience for me.
Can you describe that, or have you described that to any of your girlfriends, what it was like to be out there?
Well, I have. It's crazy. I mean, the second Hank would get on a bird, he would just go nuts. And Scott and the camera guy would race after him. And I was like, whoa, I got to keep up. And they moved. And I couldn't believe the camera guy with something on his shoulder was running. And then for Scott to actually chase after Hank and then get the gun out and actually shoot the bird, it was amazing. I don't think I could do that.
It's amazing that he actually hit one too. I've seen him shoot plenty of times, and we're
But
thankful that we're able to put that together.
I I'm having trouble hearing you, Travis. What was that?
It's poor internet connection these days. What can you do? Scott, why did you want to do this television show?
Um, well, I felt, I don't know, I guess I felt an obligation to kind of do this for. I feel like it's something anybody, well, a hunter, any hunter, but especially hunters with bird dogs can relate to. And I said it at the end of the show. I was kind of emotional, actually more emotional than I thought I would be. It'd been kind of a tough year, and but I felt a little sheepish that I was doing this for my dog individually when I know there's a lot of hunters out there that feel the same way, and they don't get to shout it in front of a television camera, if you will, about their adoration and love for their hunting dog. So in essence, I kind of wanted to dedicate it the show and to everyone that's had to go through that same thing. It's just an awful feeling. I think Ron summed it up best on camera in his interview, that it's just pure hell. It is, and I hate to say, at least for me, it gets worse every time when you lose that partner. But I think that was the main reason, Travis, and we've done it. I've done it for all my dogs, but this is the last couple of times we've been able to do it with the family because mostly because of their bond with the dogs, and they wanted to be there.
You your first time allowing your family into the television world was with your daughters. Where did you take them hunting, and how did that experience kind of affect you?
Well, we started in Aberdeen, and that was Hank's first wild bird hunt. And we started in Aberdeen and hunted there, I think, for 2 days. And then from Aberdeen, we drove to North Dakota and went to this same spot that Gene and I filmed with Izzy. It's a WPA outside of Fullerton, North Dakota. It's public land. It's a place I love to hunt because it's tucked away, and I don't think many people find it or get a chance to hunt it. And we always seem to get birds there, and it just was a special place for us because I had taken the girls there when they were much younger and gotten a few pheasants, and we'd seen geese and just had a really fun hunt. And so that seemed like the right place to lay Gus down to rest, and afterwards Izzy. And I talked about it in the show, and I don't know if it was made sense to people, but Izzy was Gus's daughter. And so she obviously had a special connection to all of us because of that too.
Gotcha. So, Gene, when you watched that first television show, seeing your daughters out there and Gus being your dog as well, how did that impact you?
I loved that show because the girls were just brutal to Scott. They
I know they were. It was great.
It was so funny. So I love that aspect, but it was also the girls were crying on screen, and I know how much they loved Gus. So it was bittersweet. It was funny yet very very sweet and kind of sad for the family because he was a great dog.
Yeah, yeah. How many dogs? Well, first of all, how long have you two been together?
Together or married?
Let's do both.
Going on 30 years of marriage
Woo,
and
Wow,
together probably 34,
4. Yeah.
something like that.
wow. Where did you lovebirds meet?
Well, Jean couldn't keep her eyes off me in college,
Oh,
and kept just stalking me. And finally, I
he
went out with
asked,
her.
he asked and asked and asked me to go out with him. Finally, I just said, "All right, I'll go."
Oh, I love the real version of it. Gene's, we'll stick with Gene's version for sure. Oh, where was this at?
We went to a small school in southern Minnesota called Gustavus Adolphus College.
Gotcha, gotcha. And did you have dogs then, Scott?
I did. I got my first hunting dog when I was a junior in college, a golden retriever named Butch.
Nice. You have always had dogs. You've never not had dogs since you and Gene have been together, right?
Correct. That's correct. I grew up with dogs, and the dogs we grew up with, we had a Springer that really didn't hunt much, and then my dog was a mutt. And then I got, like I said, my first hunting dog in college. So Gene's kind of only known me with dogs.
Like he always says, it was in our marital contract that we would have 2 dogs.
What do these dogs over the last 34, 35 years now that you've been together, what have they meant to you beyond Scott's training them and hunting with them? They're family dogs, right?
They are family dogs, and I hesitate to say this because it's kind of embarrassing, but Hank sleeps with us every night on and off the bed. He sneaks up, and so we definitely love our animals. And it's funny because one year for my birthday, Scott got me a hunting dog, and that was I thought he should have given me like diamonds as well as a hunting dog, but no, just the hunting dog.
Best present she ever got, Travis.
What a guy. That is the best. I can't imagine how you would want a diamond over a dog. That doesn't make any sense, Gene.
Next year she got a fishing pole, even better.
Oh boy.
And that right there, everybody, is how you make it 30 years together. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all of this time, I mean, you've gotten, puppy after puppy. You've watched them grow. You've watched them turn into great hunters. Now you've been able to watch them on TV as well. But the whole time, they're your dog, Gene, right? They love, and you said that Izzy was your dog. Why was Izzy yours and not the others?
Well, I like to say that. Of course, she adored Scott. But this is the first dog that I bonded with after children. When we had children, it was just, I was overwhelmed with the kids and then the dog. So I don't feel like I really bonded as much. But then when Izzy came, the kids were older. They loved the dog. They helped. And she was born on my birthday, which I think just says it all. We were meant to be. And the girls would always tease Scott that she liked me better than him because she would, I don't know, we just loved her.
It's not true though. But when you're the only male in a house of females, you tend to get picked on a lot, Travis.
Yep. Yep. Well, it carries over to the office too. I think maybe that just says a little something about you. But no, it really when people can pick on you, that's always a positive. I tell them it means that they enjoy you, they love you, they respect you, and they like you. Um, so Izzy, how old was Izzy?
She 11 and a half, I think, when she died. Too
Okay.
soon.
Yeah. When you guys watched that show, was it enjoyable to watch it, or was it difficult?
Oh,
Well, yeah, we really miss her for some reason. We felt like she was gone too soon. So I don't know. It was sad, and it's hard watching yourself. So I don't know. There's a little of that cringe moment here and there for me,
Mm,
but
yeah.
tough to put her to rest. What about you?
Yeah, when I watch that show, I still get emotional, and I think it's partially Izzy. Like Jean said, she just was even at 11 was so full of life and puppyish that it's hard to have to put a dog down that's like that. Our other dogs, when they passed, they were kind of ready, and so that makes it hard. And we just had it brings back a lot of memories from last year for us. Even Jean lost her mom, I lost my dad, um, lost Izzy. It was just kind of a tough 4 months going on when we were filming this and then writing it, and it brings back the whole thing. So you miss everybody, really.
Hmm. What stands out to you about Izzy compared to some of your other dogs and even Hank today?
I think as far as my hunting dogs go, I didn't appreciate how good a hunting dog Izzy was until she was gone, especially upland. She had to kind of call her back, never had to really touch her shock collar, and she just worked extremely hard. And what I really enjoyed about Izzy, and even Hank does this a little bit now, but Izzy was an underrated pointing lab and pointed a lot of roosters for me, and just had this drive. And I don't think I appreciated that because I compared her to her dad, and her dad was really a good hunting dog. But in the end, I think she was probably better than her dad. And Hank's still growing. I think Hank will be as strong as he was. They hunt a little bit differently. Hank, as Gene said, when he hunts, especially in thick cover, he is in that cover, and you don't see him. And in the show, the bird that I shoot on camera, that he was in water, I think almost up to his knees. It was so wet in North Dakota last year. And that rooster was in some really thick things. And so like Jean could see him get birdie, but she never really saw him put a bird up because you couldn't see Hank at all. So he hunts thick stuff probably better than Izzy, but Izzy still had way more knowledge. She was a smart hunting dog, and Hank, and that is gained through experience too. And Hank's learning; he's getting smart. Us boys are a little slower to the party in that sometimes.
And Izzy was just the sweetest little thing. She just was a leaner. She'd lean on your legs. She'd follow you around the house all day. Super soft, just a snuggler. So she's there was a void when she was.
She's very vocal too. Yeah. You can see that in the show, but she was like that around the house. You knew
she yipped at the house too with excitement?
When she needed to go out, she would let you know. When she wanted food, she'd let you know. She talked a lot, which is I think rubbed off on Hank. He's a little vocal around the house too, but taking her for a walk was, oh my gosh, you just had to get her outside or she would start breaking windows.
Well, I will always remember that about hunting with Izzy is the excitement that dog had for the hunt. And Gene, I'm sure you know that dog, but so Scott leaves and you're a hunting widow and you get the house to yourself, and then he comes home and he's exhausted probably, and the dogs are exhausted. Is that your favorite time when they come back and then they're both chill? Scott's finally chill, Izzy's finally chill, and everyone wants to just relax.
You called it, Travis. That is exactly. She would be tired, and Hank is tired for days afterwards, and it was just heaven.
What was it like for you to watch? Now Hank is Hank 3, Scott?
He turned 4 this spring. He just turned
4. Okay, gotcha. So what was it like for you to watch Hank, knowing this lovable dog that curls up next to you at night, Gene, running through the cattails and hunting? I mean, did it just trigger something different for that dog that you could see?
Well, yeah, it was just, I really hadn't been hunting. So just the whole thing, even an appreciation for the hunter too, as well as the dogs. I mean, it's hard work. And boy, Hank was in those weeds and running. He must run 50 times the amount of steps that we get. I mean, it's just intense. So yeah, I do. I appreciate the hunt, and I see the bond between the hunter and the dog too, which is a neat thing to see.
What else did you experience out there? I believe you were out near the peak of the migration, I want to say, for waterfowl. Had you seen that before?
No, I couldn't believe that. Were they snow geese or
Yeah,
the
snow geese.
snow geese? Oh my gosh, there were just I hunt thousands of snow geese. So I sometimes would get caught looking at the geese, and all of a sudden Scott is running off to catch a bird, and I'm like, "Wait, I was looking at the geese." So yeah, I did enjoy that, and I did enjoy the little motel that we stayed at as well. I was kind of looking for the spa. There was no spa to be had at the motel we stayed.
I think the most remote places in the country are a few of my favorites, but I actually got to experience something pretty similar to what you guys did. And the show has already aired as well, but I took my wife on her first hunt. She had been hunting with me in the past, where she would come with, um, but a little over a year ago, she said, "I'd shoot a bird." I was like, "Let's do this." It just instantly, she showed that interest. She was shooting clay pigeons, and we got, just really comfortable with everything about the hunt, got her all ready to go. And then we went out to South Dakota. And for her, when we came back, and I don't know how you two felt, but when we came back, she said, "That was the best date I have ever been on." And she just loved she's told me anyway, that she loved to see me in my element. And I think, doing those type of things together, it really strengthens marriages. And it just like deepens your guys' relationship. Did you feel that, or was it the opposite for you guys?
Well, I thought it was. I thought Scott was cute during the whole thing. One thing, we came back to the cars after the first hunt, and we're all exhausted. And he said, "You got to have a beer." And I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I had that beer. It was so cold, and it tasted so good. And I think that was the happiest moment of Scott's life. He's like, "Oh my God, she just loves the beer! Yay!"
I,
Oh.
I was going to say that the post hunt beer is kind of a little tradition, and I think the words out of Gene's mouth was, "I didn't know beer could taste this good." And I'm like, yes.
Oh, there's after you're out there in the elements like that and doing it together. Yeah, I mean beer, and if you cook up a meal out there on the prairie, there's something special about it, unexplainable until you experience it. Did it, Gene? Did it trigger for you a desire to see if maybe you want to carry that shotgun one day?
Well, we did actually go hit clay pigeons afterwards.
Not hit, we shoot.
Or
We
shoot,
shot clay
Well, I hit
pigeons.
them. I hit them. Sorry, I don't know the lingo, but yeah. So we went with the girls, and it was fun. So I don't know. We haven't. I would go on hunts again, and I love the exercising and the walking and that kind of thing. And maybe I'd try it, but yeah.
I think that's what I would have added is we did talk about it on the way home, and once we got home, how much Gene enjoyed the experience. The from grabbing a pizza at a little bar on the way up to the hunt and watching part of a Vikings game, just this little no name bar, and then doing the hunt. The first we got to the shoot in time to do a sunset walk, and we got two birds in the matter of 30 minutes. And one of them was on camera, one wasn't. That happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And we started joking. And then we didn't see another pheasant for a day and a half. We saw pheasants, just nothing in range. And then the last thing was going to a little bar restaurant in the little Oaks, North Dakota, and sitting at the bar and ordering a burger and talking to the locals. I mean, so it's kind of the whole thing. And at the end, she said, "I'd do that again. I'd go out." And now, we're in the process. Well, we just had a couple of kids move back home, but we were done for a while. But we could do that. We could have as you said, Travis, a weekend date with Hank and go chase some birds around.
And we've also talked about going with couples. He has a bunch of buddies, and all of the wives are my friends, so it'd be kind of fun to do it with the group.
Absolutely. I mean, just all the parts of it. So you mentioned something as part of your nuptial agreement that you were always going to have two dogs. So now you have one dog, Scott. What does that mean?
Well, we're working on a second, Travis. Where Hank is going through all the kind of requirements to make sure he can be bred. We've done X-rays of his hips and his elbows. We just he did a genetic swab to make sure that he's not carrying anything that would be a bad thing to be bred into puppies. And assuming everything checks out, because so far so good, I think we've found a partner, a baby mama for Hank, and if we're lucky, they will have maybe conceive in November and have puppies come February.
Wow. Any plans for the puppies?
Well, we're working on that. We would take one. I would like to have a female in the mix, and I think if they have some black females, we would like to try a black lab female this time. We've had yellows, we've had reds, we've never had a black lab, and so we would take a little black lab female if there's one available, and if they're all yellows, we'll happily take a yellow lab.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, that means that there's going to be a few available. You remember a certain lab named Raven? How much fundraising dollars were raised from those puppies, Scott?
Yes, I do, and that's been on my mind. But I wanted to make sure all the boxes were checked with Hank first before we went down that road.
Excellent. Well, we'll have to just keep everybody posted on that. But
Yeah,
there was great conservation work done with Ron and Raven many times over the years with Pheasants Forever. So maybe we'll get that conversation up and running again. Part of the show you did. You I mean, we were talking about Izzy, your dog, but Ron also lost Raven around the same time, and you took a walk down memory lane with Raven. Just an iconic dog. We've had Ron on the show to talk about Raven in the past, but I don't think I've asked your thoughts about Raven, Scott. How did that particular dog really change your life? Because of, I mean, look at the company you purchased, and I mean, just the big picture.
Well, what I loved about Raven, who is the brand of Ron Share Productions, is Raven was a typical black lab. She loved people, loved to hunt, adored Ron, and she was just it people. And what was really interesting and fascinating is the attention she would get at events, whether it was a game fair event, a state fair, on the road hunting with Ron or something, how people wanted to come and meet and pet Raven the Black Lab. Even though they probably had one of their own or one down the street that was just very similar to Raven, there was something special and unique about her that people could relate to, and that connection was just special in a really a fairy tale story. And Raven, yeah, she did pass in February, and we probably would have done that opening segment a little bit differently, but it was basically done. So we wanted to make sure we honored her in the right way and letting the viewers know that she had passed, because at the time we did Ron's interview and film this, Raven was still alive and doing okay. But she aged quickly, and that happens a lot when the dogs get to be about 13. That's a great life for a big dog like a Labrador.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How have you seen Ron change since Raven has passed without having another puppy? He had three Ravens.
He it's I think the hardest part is going to come this fall for him. Although he does hunt with his daughter Simone's dog. Um, I think that's when the pull will really be the strongest. And he is getting kind of pulled in two different directions now. The desire to have a hunting dog and a companion dog and a dog around the house, but also he wants to travel too, and that makes it harder to have that dog around to find care and things like that. So I'm curious to see what happens come fall, and if Ron, because right now he has indicated that he doesn't think he'll get another dog. Um, but I'm curious to see if that may change as we get closer to the fall, or as the days get cooler and the nights get cooler, and you start smelling wood smoke in the air. If that might change.
Right. And speaking of this fall, I mean, maybe we can talk about this right now. We've had several people reach out and say, "Hey, will there be a next season of the Flush?" With considering the pandemic that's spreading around the country and where things are at. Do you want to give an update there? I mean, I've basically told people that we're just kind of right now, we're planning for the season, but we're being patient with our plans, and we're just kind of monitoring things, and we're going to come up with a game plan. Do you want to add to that at all?
Well, I would agree with that, and I would say that I believe there will be a season of the flush. We hope that is just as we have done and filmed every year. But we might be limited in the places that we can travel to and who we travel with. It might be that the flush team has to kind of create its own bubble. So it might be more of Travis and Ron hunting together, or Travis and Bill, Scott and Bill, something like that, than with PF biologists or people we meet in the field. Um, but we have to, as things seem to change day by day with this, play a little bit by ear. But I do believe we will have a season of the flush. It just, the criteria or the things that may limit us is where we can travel and film. But I think the North Dakotas of the world, the South Dakotas of the world, Montana's, even Iowa, we should be able to go to those states and get plenty of hunting in.
Brandon, insert the sound bite or a sounder for crumpling up paper, because that's the sound of me throwing away my notes for Alaska, for Hawaii, for New Zealand, for South Africa. Dang it.
There's always next year, Travis.
Yeah. No, I agree. I told them stay positive, because if there's a will, we're going to find a way, and we have the will to do it. I think this fall we will see more hunters in the field than we have seen in many, many years, just as escape from this reality. And I I've been hearing good reviews from bird country. Everybody I talk to, the numbers of birds continue to be positive everywhere. So I'm really excited about it. And Gene, if you want a real bird hunting experience, you just need to come with me. I will show you thousands of birds. I'm sorry that Scott wasn't able to do that for you.
I'm in, Travis. I'm in.
You hear that, Scott? She's in. She signed up for a second hunt. You can come too if you want, I suppose. Well, that episode, this week's episode, let's see, we're filming it. So this comes out today, Tuesday. So there's an airtime Tuesday morning. You got Friday evening at 5:30 and Saturday morning at 8:30. All these times are Eastern on the Outdoor Channel. So there's 3 more times for you to watch this week's episode of The Flush, as Scott gives an ode to Izzy. It's a very special episode. The first airing on Monday, I already heard from several viewers saying how much it relates to their life and touches them. And Scott, you've done a really good job of bringing that element to all of your television shows, whether it's bringing your wife hunting or your daughters or some of your buddies, or introducing somebody to hunting for the first time. What are you looking forward to this fall? Anything excite you that you're really looking forward to sharing?
Yeah, well, I want to hunt a new state this fall. I have kind of made it my mission in the next couple of years to hunt many states and some new states. So I have been eyeballing perhaps Wyoming. I've never hunted birds in Wyoming. That interests me. Perhaps Nebraska or Colorado. But I want to try something new, and I want to get into some Hungarian partridge because I have a friend by the name of Travis Frank who just speaks volumes about the Hungarian partridge experience. And where I used to hunt around the Oaks in Fullerton area, we would see them early on, and I have not seen them in years. We still see sharptails, but I haven't seen any huns, and I'd like to try that again.
Yeah, I'm madly in love with those birds. It's like a perfect combination of all of the birds, from
I
pheasants to
know.
grouse to quail. They live in some of America's most beautiful places. Like when you're hunting, even Western Dakota, as you get into those rolling hills, and in Montana and Wyoming, the places that I've flushed those birds. I mean, when that dog goes on point, and you just stop for a second and look around, and you're like, oh my gosh, this mountain scene in every direction. And then it's a covey explosion too, so you get a little bit of everything. It's so much fun. But I will warn you, it will change you in your love for pheasants, maybe just a little bit. Well, I do wish you success there, and obviously we're gonna keep everybody informed on our plans moving forward. Hope you catch this week's episode. Any lasting comments, or Gene, do you have any dirt that you want to share about your beloved husband?
Not for publication.
Oh, come on! That's why people have waited. They want the good. Give us one story.
One story about hunting. Hunting.
Anything, anything. Leave us wanting more.
Hmm.
I know. I'm trying to.
I guess I would just say tell them about how I'm just kind of lovable and cuddly around the house too,
Oh
Gene, just like
my.
Hank.
We lost connection. We lost internet connection. The show is over. Canceled. No, but seriously, Gene, we appreciate you taking the time to go walk in the field with your husband. I know that could not have been easy. And then, especially for taking the time today to come on the show and talk to us about it.
It was fun, Travis. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Scott, I guess I don't know, get back to work.
Yeah, you better get back to work. It's already Monday midday, Travis. What have you done for me lately?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll catch you guys next week on another episode of the Flush Podcast. I don't know where we're going to be just yet, but hopefully I can finally round up a good guest to join me.
Oh,
Just kidding, Scott.
I thought you were talking to Gene.
No, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. I
aw.
do need a new sidekick, so we'll talk about it, Gene. We'll talk about it.
You're on.
All right. We'll catch you guys next time.